Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I'm your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start the show off the same way we start every show off, with a moment of gratitude. I know you could be doing a million other things with your time, so the fact that you're spending with us truly does mean the world to me, so thank you. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
How's she cutting, me loves? You're listening to the Mac City Morning Show.
And we're back. Okay, this is a good one. We're getting a lot of these type of individuals on the show. I don't know, it must be the time of year or season, but we have another individual running for council today. So as you guys know, I don't introduce my guests. I let them do that themselves. So on that note, sir, can you please tell everybody at home who you are and what you're about?
Morning, everyone. Thanks for having me on, Elliot.
You're welcome.
Mike Powlesland, running for Ward 1 Council. Been in Fort Mac since 2006. So been here a long time. Work out at site for Suncor right now in their contracts.
Okay.
So Monday to Friday type job.
Yeah.
I also worked at the municipality for 4.5 years in procurement.
Okay.
And I was a supervisor there. I was the chief of logistics during the fire from the outset of the disaster.
Oh, wow.
So I was here for 22 straight days. Did that, which I got a few stories.
Yeah, no doubt.
on that one.
Yeah.
Like I said, running for council, just want to be helpful to the city, understanding the procurement processes. People always talk about why things are done the way they are in procurement in the city. Well, because I work there, I can understand what it takes or what are the rules. So I think I can bring that to council, some intelligence and some background on that kind of thing. And so hopefully people will like my message and get voted in on October 18.
There we go. So I've asked every person running this question. Why would you do this? It's, to me, I don't, like, I put myself into public face all the time.
Right.
However, like, it's all positive, that the vibes that I get back when you're in a position like this, especially over the last few years that we've seen with politics, like, you get some heat. It's uncomfortable sometimes. So I think everybody has to, like, somebody has to do it, but I gotta know why.
Honestly, I've been thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it the last election, but my employer at the time, not Suncor, wouldn't let me consider it. So,
okay.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm going to have to make sure my skin is thick.
Yeah.
But I think that making difficult decisions is something that I can do.
Okay.
And you don't always have to be popular for them.
Right.
But I think that I have a pretty good gauge on what the city really needs to do, and I'm ready to do that. But you're not wrong; it can be scary sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Well, good for you to do it, man. Like, you're
Thank
obviously extremely brave. Everybody who's running is brave. You're putting yourself out there, and that's not easy to do. You're opening yourself up for scrutiny, which nobody likes that. And then hopefully, because everybody's in it to win it, if you win it, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Yeah,
I had messages from people that have done this before, and they're like, wait until the work starts.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I was like, yep.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So you've been here since 2006. What brought you out here?
A new job, new start.
Okay.
I was changing careers. I went from finance to supply chain or procurement.
Okay.
Applied for a job. I was in Regina at the time.
Okay.
Applied for a job, and they hired me within a few days.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, coming over that hill, it was actually at Suncor for a contractor.
Right.
Coming over that hill to see that plant for the first time.
Super test.
You go up there and you come over that hill and you see the plant and the fire coming out of the stacks. And
yeah,
I'll tell you, that's a culture shock.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt.
Yeah. So I went from corporate world to on-site work was
right.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's been Fort Mac has been the best place I've ever lived. It's the longest place I've ever lived.
Yeah.
And given me more opportunity than anywhere else.
Right.
So paying it back is something I'd like to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about the community makes you stay here?
Honestly, it has everything that I need, right? Like, for a person that I don't need, great big shopping malls or anything like that, because that's not me.
Right.
I know the community needs that.
Yeah.
I understand that. But, I mean, I started coaching football here. Yeah. I never would have gotten that opportunity somewhere else as quickly as I did. Did that for 12 years. The people are great. when, you know, 06 to 08 was interesting. Quite
Yeah.
a different town. It's a much better place to live now. I
Right.
just enjoy it. I enjoy the scenery. I enjoy the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And because I'm not working shift, I'm working a regular job. So for me, it's great.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so the transition over to Suncor, how's that been for you?
It's a steep learning curve.
Yeah.
There's a lot to learn when you go to a corporation that large.
That's right.
But it's been great. I've had great support with my teammates. My bosses have been great.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, really happy where I am in my space right now.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
So from an education standpoint, what did you study in school?
So I went to the University of New Brunswick in
Oh.
St. John. I'm
Okay.
originally from Alberta, but my parents moved out east when I was younger.
Okay.
Wow, you did it backwards.
Yeah, I know. It's literally is backwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to University of New Brunswick for business administration. I
Okay.
have a 2-year program in that,
Okay.
and then got on a work program that took me out to Regina
Right.
for underemployed youth.
Okay.
I got a temporary job there, and then they hired me at Saskatchewan Power. And then after 9 years there, I came to Fort Mac. So,
Okay.
and I got my designation in procurement 2009. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of power are you talking about for your old company? Were we talking electrical?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Saskatchewan Power does their coal and I think some natural gas now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know very little bit about the energy sector outside of oil and gas.
Right.
I'm born and raised in Fort McMurray. It's in my backyard, so
Right.
you kind of
Yeah,
know what's
yeah.
in your backyard. I haven't really ventured out, so that's interesting.
Yeah, and the first job I had was on site was with TransAlta. It was
Okay,
a utility company that ran the powerhouse
that's right.
for Suncor and
That's right.
cogen. So my utility work got me here.
Yeah,
It wasn't oil and gas technically, but
right.
yeah,
And yeah, and what you're doing is like the financial component as well, which
Yep.
donuts are donuts, basically. Like you have a general understanding of how to move pieces, procure,
right.
buy things, and then
Yep.
sell things.
And the value, total cost, like the actual
That's
true
right.
value of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you like numbers.
I guess I'm stuck with numbers. But I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan. But
Yeah.
I'm stuck with them.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's great, man. So, with your time working for the municipality, you feel that experience will be of benefit to you in this role.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
especially because procurement is one of the most misunderstood pieces of what administration does for the city.
Okay.
There's 3 trade agreements that govern what we do,
Right.
plus our own internal policies.
Okay.
And they all have different levels of what you can do at certain spend levels and what you can and cannot do.
Yeah.
And I think there's a misconception of what municipalities can and can't do when it comes to like buying local.
Right.
Right? We can't exclude people from outside of our city.
Right.
A lot of people, don't like that, and for obvious reasons, and I understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things we did while I worked there is we started the social procurement framework that's
Okay.
now being brought into full bylaw or whatever they're going
Right.
to call it. And that is to try to drive the value of what we spend back into the community in different ways.
Right.
So I'll give you an example. One of the things you can put in a procurement is ask the question, how many of your part-time staff have benefits?
Yeah.
Or can we hire people from the Center of Hope
Mm-hmm.
to do labor work? And the hope is that if you give people gainful employment
Yeah.
or apprenticeships to at-risk youth, they get a leg up. They may get off social assistance,
Right.
and improves the community as a whole.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm really looking forward to that opportunity
Okay.
when they finally bring that into full use.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that I'm on council so that I can see that come to fruition.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be really good for the community.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, since you put your name out there to say that you've run, what has surprised you about what's come out of that?
Honestly, the biggest surprise is how many people have reached out that I haven't talked to in years.
Right.
Worked with them, know them, but not close friends, and they're reaching out saying,
Yeah.
I think you'll do a good job, that kind of thing. So that's probably been the biggest surprise.
Yeah.
It's been great hearing from old friends and people that you work with that
Right.
think you can do it and
Yeah.
they bring a different perspective.
Yeah.
So that's been nice.
Neat. Have
Yeah.
you been doing the door knocking and
I have not done door knocking
Okay.
purely because of COVID.
That's right.
I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable.
Okay.
If I come to their door, I don't
Yeah,
know
fair enough.
what their fears or thoughts may be.
That's right.
So I have avoided it. And I'm trying, so I'm doing the trade show this weekend.
Okay.
I have a booth there. Me and Gareth Norris are going to share a booth. So we're going to be down there.
Okay.
If people want to come and meet us.
Okay.
And talk to us, so it's a little more comfortable for them.
That's a good idea.
Using Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
But the door knocking thing, I made a decision just not to make anyone uncomfortable.
Right. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
Once you put your energy into a different medium, like you said, showing up with oil and gas or utilizing Facebook or other social media platforms.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, my man. We're at the part of the show called the Mac City Minute.
Okay.
Tanner's going to ask you some questions. I don't know what he's going to ask you, so I wish you nothing but the best of luck. Tanner, hit him with the Mac City Minute.
Alrighty, question number 1. What is your favorite part of being part of the local election process?
Honestly, getting to meet people that I've never talked to, I actually I was invited to a congregation on Sunday to talk to the congregation, the Filipino church, and they invited me in and had a few minutes with them, and it was really good to hear their perspective because I don't normally interact with that group.
Right.
So being able to meet new groups and to meet new people and understand their needs, what they think the community needs, has actually been pretty interesting so far.
Question number 2. What is something that working at site has taught you about Fort McMurray?
I think what it's taught me is that most people here are hardworking and just want a better life. Mm-hmm. They come here for, if it's money or whatever it might be, or career advancement, but we all just want a better life. And I think that that's probably the thing. When you talk to them, they want to have a better life for their families, be able to do things with their families. And I think that's misunderstood when you think of site workers. Yeah. And I think that's been probably the biggest thing for me.
Question number 3. What is your best memory from your time as a coach?
2009, we went to provincials with our bantam team. So that's junior high age. Yeah. And we lost, but we actually made it to provincials. So that was pretty exciting. Great memory.
Question number 4. What is one draw to Fort McMurray that you think people often overlook?
I think it's the activities that we have. Like when you look at how many things happen here, I've never seen anything like it for a city this size, a community this size, to have this many events go on all the time. Yeah. I think people don't understand that there's so much more to do than just go to work and then come home. It's really impressive how many events. Like I was at the Rock the Rails with Jones on the weekend. Yeah, just never knew that happened. And met Mike over the last couple of years and started to get to know him and follow his events. And there's just a lot of things you can do here that people don't know.
That's right.
Yeah.
And your final question: what is one thing you think that Fort McMurray needs from its next local council?
The biggest thing for me is we need to help our social profits as much as we can, and infrastructure. We've got to get, the flood mitigations have to be done. The underground services need to be sound, so we're not having, the broken pipes and things like that. The stuff that actually affects the majority of people. Mm-hmm. That's what I think we need to do. The first couple of years, we need to understand the new ratio on the spending, the 5-to-1 tax ratio that changed from 18-to-1. Yeah. So we just have to understand where our money is going and make, really good decisions that affect the majority, the most people that we can.
And those have been your 5 questions.
Good questions, Tanner.
Thank you.
Good questions.
Good job.
Man. Yeah, man. Every people who watch the show regularly know this, but we do zero preparation for this show. Like when you asked to come on, I went out of my way not to go to your Facebook page, not to figure out who you were. Tanner, I don't know. Do you even go on Facebook?
No. Yeah. I created that last question as you were answering the first one, actually.
So love it.
His questions always like, I'm always like, how the heck do you come up with that within like the 5-minute span that I first start talking to a guest? Good questions.
It comes from a place of high school when I would just do absolutely no work until the last possible minute, and then
Yeah.
the teacher would be like coming around, and I'd be like filling out all the answers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You've been
like,
training your whole life for this job.
Exactly. I've waited my entire life for this moment.
There you go.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about football for a second.
Okay.
How'd you get into football coaching here?
Honestly, so I love football. Watched it. Never coached. And I was working at TransAlta, and one of the ladies I worked with,
Yeah.
her son was playing.
Right.
She walked up to me, says, "You like football, right?" I said, "Yes, love it." She goes, "Okay, you're coaching on my kid's team."
Okay.
Be there Saturday.
Okay.
12 years later.
Wow. So what team do you coach?
I've coached, the younger years didn't really have associations, but I've coached at Comp. I've coached at Westwood High School.
Okay.
Did McTavish Junior High team.
Stayed away from Merck though, obviously, right?
Yes, we don't talk about Merck or Trinity.
Oh, come on. I love it. I love the rivalry. It's awesome.
Coached, with a lot of those guys at Merck
Yeah.
and Trinity, coached against them.
Yeah.
We don't talk about Merck and Trinity.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your are you defensive, offensive?
I did a lot of head coaching.
Okay.
Because I left the positional stuff to the guys who had more experience, and I just sort of took the role of being, the face, or
Yeah.
I'm the one that dealt with the parents more and that kind of thing.
Right.
But I love coaching quarterbacks. That's probably the thing I enjoyed the most.
Okay.
Or receivers. So it
Yeah.
was more, but I did some defensive coordinating too.
Yeah.
You have to do everything when you've only got one or two coaches on a team.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I love the game. Big Rough Rider fan.
Okay, I was just going to
So,
ask, are we
yeah.
talking Canadian? I wanted to know who's your
Yeah.
favorite Canadian and American football team?
American football team, I watch NFL some. I'm a big Canadian
You're a
football
big Canadian.
fan.
Okay.
But,
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
Tom Brady,
Yeah.
I like watching him play. So
Yeah.
I'll cheer for Tampa Bay now because
That's right,
where
because
he
he's
is.
there.
But yeah, if there's a Canadian on an NFL team, I'll pick
Yeah.
that team.
That's right.
That's how I go.
Okay.
But CFL is my thing, and yeah, I'm a big Rough Rider fan. So
When you were living down there, did you have an opportunity to go to a lot of games?
yeah, I had season tickets for 9 years.
Really? That's cool. You guys are fanatical
Oh,
about that team, to say the least.
You're not wrong. Yeah,
Right.
I've been to like 16 Grey Cups, I think.
Wow, that's awesome, man.
love
So
the
where,
game.
where did this love of football come from?
My dad, he played when he was younger, played in university,
Okay.
and also I think growing up I liked chess,
Yeah,
and football's a strategy game,
it is.
right? Because you're stopping and starting, and you're making a plan, and where the other games are fluid. And
Right.
I prefer
Yeah.
the stop and start and strategy. So I
Yeah.
think that's probably why it hooked me. But
Okay.
yeah, I love the game. Yeah.
And so is football taking place? I don't know, with COVID and everything going on. Like, are you
Yeah.
coaching currently?
No, I'm done coaching, but I'm still refereeing.
Okay. Oh, wow. So you're
yeah.
like in the game.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what level. You just
Yeah.
want to be in it.
Yeah, I was on boards too with the teams. Like I was on the board of directors and stuff on different teams.
Okay.
Yeah, so now I'm still reffing.
Yeah.
So people get to yell at me on the field whenever.
Yeah.
Quite regularly.
Yeah. So that's where you built up that thick
yeah.
skin to run for politics. Yeah.
You take quite a beating as a ref. So
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be nicer in council than they are on the field.
Right.
So,
Emotions aren't as high.
I feel like they have a different code of conduct at what's acceptable on a football field versus what's acceptable in a council.
a little bit.
I feel like sacking the quarterback in the mayoral run is probably not your best bet.
Yeah.
Best bet. But yeah, so I guess we got some local games coming in October.
Okay.
So I'll be reffing a few of those. And
Very cool.
Yeah. Love the
Very
game.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, listen, that's it. 20 minutes flies. I know.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming. Thank you for reaching out. I tell every guest this, and I truly do mean it. Please come back again and again.
Yep.
If you want to come back and talk about later as the election goes on, you want to come back again, great. You want to come talk about football with me and Tanner, we're always up for a chat. So please don't make this your only visit to the show.
I will.
Awesome. So the last thing that everybody gets before they leave is a shameless shout out or plug. So the camera's on you, the mic's on you. I kind of know what you're going to talk about, but this is your opportunity to be shameless.
Cool. Shamelessly asking you to vote for me October 18. Hopefully we can do some good in council. And we'll be at the trade show this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Mac Island.
There we go. Awesome. Well, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world, that's another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in. It really does mean the world to me. So thank you. Hopefully you're having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.